Like, it was how they get Flame, Acorn, well as TVQ and Godvi going on the top half of the map. And it has taken some time. They've stuck with Acorn. Now they're bringing Flame back in a little bit more regularly as some of these carry top laners like the Shyvana, like Hecarim are making a big resurgence. And I just think they're playing it extremely smart with some roster changes.
And this is very interesting. In fact, the Udyr is going to be banned away here first up for LGD, following the Nunu ban from IG as well. And wasn't exactly expecting the Udyr to be taken off the board, but we'll see whether that's because of scrim situations throughout the week, what's been going on behind the scenes here for IG.
Yeah, well, it just becomes unkillable, and he's this disruptive force in the middle of the fights. With Bear Stance, just able to get multiple stun rotations through the whole of the lineup. So really do understand why that's being taken away. Lulu actually is a target ban. And that's something I didn't think we would see being taken away from Godvi.
Yeah, that is not the type of Godv champion that we'd be expecting here, but...
And PYL bans Janna. Okay, I have no idea what is going on in this big ban phase.
An interesting ban phase, to say the least.
The Bard.
Spawn.
Maybe Janna counts Bard.
Maybe. I really hope so, because I hope that we're going to be going on another magical journey today. Cho'Gath going to be taken away. A more standard one as Wayless.
That's not surprising. Wayless is very good.
He is incredible on that champion. If that wasn't banned away, we'd be very, very surprised. But they seem to have targeted some sort of Juggermore-esque type comp here as well, taking away the Lulu and the Nunu as well. The Blood Boil and the Wild Growth being fantastic, not to mention the Whimsy. So I guess that is something that they could be doing here. But Imp hasn't been one to play that style thus far, and Rookie, he's not going to see his Azir, and that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, and I actually think IG have turned that into a must ban on this patch.
Oh, yeah.
There is no way you can let it get through, because with the lane swaps, middle lane is so isolated, and Rookie has absolutely dunked multiple members.
Yeah.
Even with, they were picking Vlad into it, thinking that was a counter matchup. Rookie just didn't miss that memo, apparently, and continued to win the lane over and over again.
And by win the lane, we mean take the turret at 10 minutes.
Yeah, 3 games.
Yeah, despite any attention that he's getting there in that mid lane, it is going to be Kakao locking away the Sejuani. TBQ answers immediately with the Lee Sin, and Flame back on the unkillable Maokai there in the top lane.
Yeah, hasn't actually locked it in yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But TBQ insta-locked that, and I want to know whether this is going to be an extremely aggressive Lee Sin that just tries to gank Sejuani in her own jungle as much as possible, because if there's something that Sejuani doesn't do, it's get around the first clear extremely well, and TBQ might be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and they are going to lock away Imp's Kalista here as well. Of course, Kid playing that the last 4 games. They don't want that in his hands yet again. There's Kakao looking at what he wants to put there into the top side of the map. The Scion looks to be there as Rookie. Azir's not there. He might just go for this Vladimir.
Yeah, might look to pick that one up. Of course, Zatai's also played it in the top lane, so he doesn't pigeonhole himself into that one. Although the Orianna pickup, along with Urgot, that is the counter pick. And I say counter pick like that because we've seen it go both ways to the extreme. But hard initiate always has been a good shutdown to Kalista. Can't get much harder in the initiate than the hyperkinetic position reversal.
That is most definitely true. As Godv was playing with our hearts a little bit, I was hoping for a possible Master Yi there, I'm not going to lie to you, as Maokai is going to be looked at here from Imp for that top lane position, and that one is going to be locked in. PYL going to take the Nautilus support there to the bottom side, and they're saving Godv's pick for last, as Kid and Kitties now to make their decisions. Zatai thinking about what he wants there on the top side, and already this draft, if you were watching this game on 5.2, that draft would look very, very strange.
Yeah, it certainly would, and you see the, once again, Kalista Nautilus bot lane coming through, and wow, we see the cannon locked in as support, and there's a rumble. There is so much AoE coming through from IG. This team does not lack damage at all. We've seen some 2 threat comps. This is not one of them.
Yeah, and they're saying, okay, well, we've got some extra tankiness in our AD carry. Let's have everyone on exactly the same line here. And they are going to have so much AoE lockdown. It's going to be ridiculous. And if Kitties manages to get in amongst a fight, stun a whole bunch of members pretty close together, and then there's a shockwave over it, you have to think that people are going to die.
Yeah, there is certainly some good ball carriers there. Even if you get a good swap, you just throw it onto Urgot and he ends up in the middle of the enemy team.
Yeah.
Kind of unexpectedly, but Kakao, he can take it in there as well. I like what they've done with their draft here, IG. I don't think it's very 5.6-esque, but in saying that, the response out of LGD was a very good one. They grabbed the LeBlanc. And what LeBlanc does in these team comps that have some squishier members, like as we go through the lineups, like that Rumble, is just kill him before the team fight starts.
Yeah, get the picks in these fights here from LGD, but Flame is on a super tank there as well, and he can protect that Kalista as they come through that one, as Kakao picks up the Sejuani into the Lee Sin. And Rookie, the Orianna versus LeBlanc matchup, this is one from a little while ago, but making a resurgence here as well, as the Urgot versus Kalista to come through there in that bottom side. Yeah,
a very standard lane matchup that we're seeing, as well as Kenna versus support Nautilus. A couple of months ago, you wouldn't have thought that to be very regular, but if anything, we've seen that Kennen, a very strong support pick at the moment.
Yeah, really oppressive there as well, able to zone out these melee supports, and POA will see what he can do in response to it as this Nautilus comes into the bottom side as well, because we know that Kalista Nautilus a terrifying lane.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you know that they're able to get in there. They make use of the Fate's Call ultimate extremely well. Not to mention the fact that Nautilus's ultimate, as it chases you across the map, it's just impossible to get away from. You can't cleanse it. Nothing you can do to get rid of it. It knocks everyone up on the way through.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But IG, of course, they're not going to be too worried about it because they just want to get all of their ultimates in the right positions.
Yeah, exactly right. They're just looking to dive in there, as we do have a slight pause at the start of this game, guys. So we will get you onto the Rift as soon as possible. But you're exactly right. IG's team comp, it's all about maybe getting the first position reverser as the rest of the team collapse. A lot of counter initiate coming through. Kennen as a support is very good as people are diving onto your AD carry.
Yep.
You're able to just stand next to him, pop the big slicing maelstrom. You get free stuns that way, and they have a very good kite back team comp here. Urgot very good at slowing people. Orianna with the dissonance and the shockwave. Very hard to get on top of this lineup.
And we'll see whether they can get things working, because you have to think that if IG, they engage wrongly at all, use all of these high cooldown ultimates, and LGD manage to disengage, that could be a real problem. But do LGD really have any ability to disengage with this team comp? There's no Jannas on there to speak of.
Yeah, exactly. There's no Janna, so we'll see exactly how it works out. But I don't know, Atlas. I honestly think that you're right. It is a big press R team composition, but in saying that, they have some good movement to get around the map.
Yep, and we are onto the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. IG against LGD for our first matchup of the day. So far, pretty defensive start from both of these sides. We've been seeing some of these invades for wards coming through, but not going to be happening this time as everyone's sort of fanning out across the river. Sonic Wave was looked for by TBQ, but doesn't actually find Kakao, who was waiting in that brush. Now moved up to this one, and gets the reset. Manages to kill the ward. Loses a bit of health, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, it certainly is. So able to take out that ward, and Kakao, he'll just go back. Has enough time to get back into the jungle before anything starts off. And we'll see maybe a lane swap initiated here by LGD.
Yeah, LGD probably don't want to have that Kalista against Urgot matchup. Although you have to think that it probably goes okay for level 1.
Yeah, it certainly does. So actually, Kalista does okay for the first 3 levels, 4 levels in the matchup. It's just once Urgot starts scaling up, get some points into that queue, can start chunking her out of the lane. So we will see the lane swap coming through. Both players will probably look to freeze because they're not very good at pushing in either of these matchups. So as you can see, very deep in the lanes already on the side of LGD, looking to grab that minion up.
Yep, and you can see the double jungling starting already here as well. As you're exactly right, the freeze is coming through. Urgot actually staying around those Krugs here as well, as he manages to take down, I believe, the little one.
Yeah, and we saw this morning in the NALCS. Nautilus messes with people so much in the jungle that he's able to 2v1 force them off the blue buff early. He's going to stick around because they will probably come back, so he's just waiting for that to happen. No, now actually recalls, so not able to mess with them as much as we saw this morning, but still able to change the jungle path.
Yeah, actually they're leaving the blue buff here as well, heading towards that red and not wanting to head back towards there. Of course, he's going to be heading towards this bottom side of the map. We've seen Maokai's do quite well in these pseudo 2v2 situations in the bottom side of the map, so he's going to be heading down there, and that's some chunky members that IG are going to have to go up against.
Yeah, there certainly is. They're trying to poke Flame out with their Qs at the moment, but Flame, because he got the first 3 Raptors, is doing quite well in that lane, and they need to be careful because already PYL heading down there to give him some support. Flame might actually be able to get pretty far ahead of this Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble only on 1 CS here, continuing to double jungle as the Nocturne Corrosive Charge does come through. Ooh, that was very close on the dredge line as Flame taking a bit of poke, but Kid It's not the stage where he has that fully charged Mirror mana, not going to be able to use his mana completely here. As LGD, they're able to push this wave in. We'll see whether IG can freeze this one up again. It looks like they can. Yeah,
they won't be able to grab it off the turret, but there's so many caster creeps, and unless they're able to kill that backline, the wave will stay exactly there for one more Atlas. Probably push in after that because they can't really trim it quickly enough. But meanwhile, Zatai, he's headed up top, but that's a very deep freeze coming through from Imp, and he's going to struggle by himself. This has always been the thing about Rumble, that you can't really unfreeze the lane without your jungler.
And Rookie now might be in a bit of trouble here as TBQ is making his presence known, but he is going to just try and take that Rift Scuttler if he can. As Kakao finally takes down that blue buff. Sentinel probably going to spot him out here as well. Oh, moves casually to the side. The Sentinel not going to see it, although I believe might have given him a little bit of vision, but Rift Scuttler is going to be what TBQ wants to take off the board, and these junglers actually taking their own buffs this game. This is very different to what we've been seeing.
Yeah, it certainly is, but they managed to get it as Imp actually takes a lot of damage from Zatai there. Half his health because Zatai got him on the back of the minion wave as well. That was extremely well played by the former mid laner, now top laner of IG, and we see a bit of a scuffle.
Yeah, Kitty's actually going very aggressive. Gets the stun there on PYL after the dredge line did land. Kid now making his presence known in this lane, but Kitty's not one to be messed with on this support cannon.
Yeah, certainly not, and it's worthwhile mentioning the extra resistances you get as you enter that lightning rush. So a little bit tankier as he comes through there, and you saw that in the end was able to get a bit of harass down, and now this is a big minion wave stacked up. Flame going to have to do his best to trim it with some saplings and try and last it under turret.
And doing the best that he can, Kitty's with that auto attack charged up as Kid. I mean, if there's a champion that can harass you under a turret, it is Urgot.
Yeah, it definitely is. Oh, Godby going in.
Yeah, Rookie taking a bit of harass there from the chains, but Godby just going to head back towards that previous distortion, and this is going to prime Rookie for a potential gank if TBQ is making his way around. Sentinel's coming in there, but that is not going to be the gank potential, as Cow going to get a pink ward down here and spots out the ward of Godby there in the mid lane.
Yeah, and we'll see if Godby is able to clear that one out, because it looks close enough that he can just distort over the wall, get a couple of auto attacks whenever he pushes the wave in. So Kakao probably needed to position the pink ward a little bit closer to his side of the river, so he had to overextend for it, but that's fine. He able to deny some vision, make his presence felt in that mid lane, help his friend Rookie out.
And actually, Chain going to land onto a minion, so Rookie going to avoid a bit of that damage, but he's taking a whole lot of harass here by Godby. And is this the understandable situation here for an Orianna in this matchup?
Yeah, it certainly is. She's just waiting for the Chalice. As soon as she gets Chalice, all kill potential pretty much removed from the lane, unless Godby goes absolutely bonkers and lands a fantastic combo. But Kakao over the backside, after taking out that Rift Scuttler, is now going to start up a dragon.
Yeah, at half health here as well. Kitties is coming up to help out. Kid still hanging out in this lane, trying to keep Flame down, who is still 1 CS ahead, but Zatai, definitely doing well here on the top side of the map to try and help out, although PYL making a move. But Imp just going to rend Zatai, and he makes his way back under that turret. TBQ looking for a potential dive here. There is a ward, but the dragon's going to fall down here for IG, and Zatai, he senses there's something up.
Well, he just knows even with 2 members they can dive him. The level 6 is available for him, so he can just pick up the Nautilus and chuck it at him.
Yeah, that has certainly happened here as TBQ safeguards over. There's the dredge line to come through as Zatai in a whole bunch of trouble. The rend is going to be there. Imp, cool guys don't look at explosions and just dances away from that one. First blood going to the AD carry.
And there's no point hovering between 2 turrets if you're Zatai. If you make the call to back away, just back away, get out of everywhere, because you could see exactly what was going to happen there as PYL now in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, there's the Titan's Wrath, keeping him a bit healthy there as Kakao going to throw around that flail, but not going to find anything from it. The Gromp just going to go down here as Kakao is scaling up quite nicely into this one. Cinderhulk almost completed now with that Trailblazer. TBQ looks like he might be going for a Cinderhulk himself, unless that is going to be the Sightstone.
No, we have seen a couple of Cinderhulk leads in, so I wouldn't be surprised. I personally don't agree with the build. I think that you need some early game presence in the lanes that Warrior gives you very well. It's just such a cost-effective offensive item. But we'll see exactly what he goes for here, because we've seen even Rek'Sai's go for the Cinderhulk. It's just such a strong item and do quite well.
Yeah. TBQ is going to be spotted out here by Kitties, who's looking for a Shuriken. Oh, doesn't land it.
Nearly got it.
Was that not in range of the electrical surge?
I think there was just a slight delay. He went to hit it, but the resonating strike too much.
Too strong. Is Godby going to head back to another distortion there, just keeping Rookie on his toes, who has gone back, picked up that chalice. Blue buff not quite available just yet, as Rookie had taken that one very, very late. Godby able to do a bit of zoning here as well, as Rookie quite low on mana. That chalice is doing some work now with the low mana bar, but not quite what it used to be.
And all the lanes so even. Really only this mid lane, as Godby puts down some more pain, going in favor of any team. Kakao more than making up for that with some jungle camps going in his favor. He's been on hard farm mode again. And with Sejuani, maybe not as bad as some... Wow.
Yeah, this distortion harass coming through from Godby, especially with all the cooldown reduction from that blue buff, definitely working out here. And Rookie, he's almost in kill range but from this LeBlanc, despite the chalice pickup. Yeah,
it's just because he hasn't got the blue buff yet. As soon as he's able to pick that one up, it'll just be completely fine. It's up now. They're pinging it out furiously. Want to get him over there, be able to pick that one up, because LeBlanc's had about 50 seconds of having that blue buff before Rookie's been able to secure his.
Yeah, there is a ward on there from LGD, though, as Imp and POL doing some work onto this turret. That one might actually go down here, as LGD putting a lot of pain into it, and another creep wave turns up. Imp takes down the turret, and that's the first one here for LGD, starting the snowball of these structures early on in this one.
Yeah, so it's 1,000 gold advantage as Godby.
Oh, there's the shockwave as well. The ignite down on him as Godby comes out of it. They find the right one. The flash forward. Oh my goodness, is the auto attack going to be enough? No, it's not, as TBQ comes around here as well. Just some fancy footwork before picking up the kill. And Godby, he's going to survive. The gank goes wrong as Kakao finally makes his way in.
Yeah, so Kakao, he was stuck farming the jungle again. And this is what we were talking about. Sure, Kakao, he's building up some CS advantage over him. But Lee Sin, just everywhere on the map, has also gone for that Cinderhulk build as well. So he's extremely tanky at this part of the game. TBQ means it's important for him to be able to keep the red buff on himself, though, because otherwise, not going to be very useful in these games.
Yeah, Kitty's finding TBQ yet again. But the support cannon not going to be able to do too much here, as the bottom lane from LGD is now in their rightful place on the lower side of the map. Kakao making his way in. PYL's here as well as the level 4 Nautilus, but has a whole lot of CC still, and Kakao wants to find the Arctic Assault, gets it after using the ultimate, but TBQ's not finished just yet. Oh my goodness, the flash is perfect timing, but Kitty, he's going to go down. The teleport coming through now for Zatai, wants to try and get the equalizer down. It's in a decent position as PYL taking a lot of damage. Rookie coming in as well, as, my goodness, that's another round of the passive there as Imp takes a whole lot of dissonance damage. In the end, as the dust settles, it's a support for support. But man, LGD are going so deep for this one, playing so aggressively.
Yeah, they certainly are. They need to be careful though, because Kakao's already on his way back. They can't overstay for this. Being zoned away a little bit, and Kakao, he might have trapped them.
He may have. Zatai looking for Imp here as well. Marshall Poise not able to get over the wall just yet, but he's trying to turn around. My goodness, this Orianna's doing some DPS as Flame now gets found by Kakao, who has a Cinderhulk. He's just getting burnt down. That seems pretty correct there as the tree that he is. Zatai now going to head back as Godby looking for something. Kitties may have found him. Kid in a whole lot of trouble now as well. Distortion comes through, does manage to mimic it as well, as gets back to his original Distortion. Kid finds the Q though, and they answer that with the 1-for-1.
Yeah, so the support picks it up, but Godby able to grab a kill in the for the mid laner, so a little bit further in favor of LGD. But in the end, IG made a pretty good situation out of that just by, I guess, baiting them into an overstay. Imp twice now, by the way, has tried to jump over the wall with that Pierce and headbutted it.
That one's a difficult one,
Not what he's looking for. He did it on the top side of the map, trying to get into Dry Brush. Then he tried to go over the Krugs wall there to get rid of away from Kakao, and both times wasn't able to nail it. So maybe a little bit rusty in game 1 of the day.
Yeah, potentially. And when you've played 6 other AD carries before heading back to Kalista here on the LPL stage, you can imagine that maybe some rust would occur.
Yeah, just a little bit. So I'm sure his misfortune mechanics still on point, but Kalista seems to be suffering a little bit for that.
Yeah, he wants to be strutting, not poison.
God, that was bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Look, it's early in the day. Zatai, though.
We're all warming up.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Zatai going to start up the Dragon.
PYL's been caught out.
He's most certainly caught out. There's the Arctic Assault as well. That's going to find him. Oh my goodness, the Permafrost coming through. Everyone actually coming down to this bottom side. PYL's going to be safe, but Imp in a whole lot of trouble as Kitties does manage to get there. The swap comes through. A lot of resistances now on Kid as they continue to fight, and Flame gets taken down to half health. The Shockwave under both of these tanky members, but Godby, he's going to be okay. The Equalizer comes down as well. So much AoE damage here from the IG lineup as Godby not going to be able to get too much done. Kitties, though, there's the Command Protect, but I don't know whether it'll be enough as the Ignite ticks down and Godby picks up the outside kill. TBQ still here as the Dragons get started. The double kill now as Orianna falls down, and Arctic Assault into TBQ. There's the single man ultimate as Kid manages to pick up the kill into TBQ now, but Godby wants to find a pickup, and Kid has to be very worried about the AoE potential coming through from this Dragon. Arctic Assault finds it, and Cacao finally kills the pesky LeBlanc.
And this is the thing about Cacao on these tanky junglers. He's still extremely aggressive, so giving him a scoreline of 2-0-4 is so dangerous at this point. Sejuani does ridiculous amounts of damage late game for a tank with this Gromp buff as well as the Cinderhulk, not to mention a W at max ranks does that percentage health damage, so he's in a very good place. Rookie off the back of that had a fantastic shockwave, but it really is Zatai at the moment that's securing these team fights. His equalizers have been completely on point, and another one shredded through the entirety of the team. Made sure that they couldn't get in, and Imp, unfortunately, getting a little bit caught out at the start of this game.
Yeah, not quite finding it here, but still managing to stay ahead in the farm. 2-2-0 now as well, almost has that Bloodthirster completed. So not a horrible performance, but you're right. If this Kallista's not able to survive in these team fights, they don't have a lot of extra damage here with the Lee Sin Maokai not really doing too much on that front. Godby's certainly picking up the slack, but it's going to be pretty hard if it's all on him towards this later stage.
Yeah, so they're able to pick up a Dragon. So now that's equalized. There's about 1,000 gold advantage for IG, even though they haven't taken any of the outer turrets as of yet. So that's probably bad news for LGD because you feel that they're going to fall at some point. But two big real team fighting comps coming out here. No real siege from either team.
Yeah, well, especially not from IG, who have the very low range Kid on the Urgot, but they can just zone away from turrets here, you have to think, with the equalizer, with the potential shockwave coming through with good ball placement.
Well, with a 2-0-4 Sejuani, it's going to get to the point where they just run underneath turrets. Yeah. Cacao's just going to live underneath there. You throw in a couple of Zhonya's Hourglasses on your main carries like the Rumble, like the Orianna, and all of a sudden you're not in much danger under these turrets. But we see bottom lane now has become the focus. Rookie's still trying to pressure.
Whoa, gets a flash here as well as Godby heads back towards that distortion. Trading that one for the ultimate, definitely going to be in Rookie's favor as he's staying a lot more healthy in this lane. And 4-2-1, you can understand why.
Yeah, exactly right. He had a great team fight around that Dragon, was able to pick up some of those kills as well as that skirmish in the bottom lane. So he's now in a very good position. He has the boots too, so a little bit more of an aggressive build coming out of Rookie here when you compare it to Godby, who's now going for the, I guess, it's Abyssal both offensive and defensive in the option, the Abyssal Scepter. So he's just prioritizing a little bit of a different build here. You would expect the Death Cap to come out next from Rookie, although we have seen a couple of second item Void Staffs.
Oh my goodness, the flash swap to come through as Imp tries to marshal points away, but look at the burst damage as Cacao comes in. PYL forced to get the heck out, doesn't land the dredge line here as the depth charge comes through to try and stop the chase. Kitties looks for the Shuriken, doesn't find it. Lightning Rush is there, the Surge doesn't land though as Cacao Arctic assaults him. The Permafrost to slow down this Nautilus, and he's not as tanky without that Titan's Wrath, and he's going to fall down.
And what an engage coming through from the bottom lane. They're just layering of CC meant that Imp could go nowhere. Still had the heal available and fell before he could even use it. TBQ now looking for Rookie, but they need to be careful. Their bottom lane just died.
Yeah, there's the flash actually over the wall. The chain does land as... Oh my goodness, I thought TBQ was actually going to go for that Sonic Wave, but didn't have any vision in the pit, and Cacao heading around here. Sonic Wave picks the gap.
Maokai's here as well.
Yeah, Kid's hanging around. There are some members of LGD like you mentioned, but there's a tie in that top side. IG not going to go aggressive. They do need to sweep out these wards, which Kitties is most definitely going to do. Godby still with some control here in the mid lane, able to get a decent burst of damage onto Rookie, who's probably not going to be playing with as much gusto in this mid lane from now on.
Yeah, definitely not without that flash, as we see Godfrey. He's looking to get a little bit of a snipe onto someone. Rookie, he's gone across to pick up a wolf camp for himself, but needs to get back to mid fairly quickly as PYL has been caught again.
Yeah, again here is Kid with a whole lot of consistent damage. The Fate's Call is going to be available very, very soon. There it is, pulls him in as Rookie. He's going to burn to death as Godfrey picks up that kill. In the meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, PYL trades his life here as it's going mental down in this bottom side. Imp so incredibly low. Flame teleported in and looking to try and get some follow-up damage. Godfrey coming down as well as Arctic Assault's going to get Cacao back under the turret.
They need to be careful here. They cannot dive. The teleport is available for Zatai, and the equalizer would be all kinds of bad.
Oh my goodness, the Mimic Distortion though, as Kitties is going to get chained up. It doesn't have the Ignite there, and the little cannon who could manages to survive.
So Rookie gets soloed out in the mid lane, whiffs the Shockwave. Godfrey on this LeBlanc is going completely bonkers, and you see that across the map it's leading to small advantages. They take another outer turret, so that's 2-1 in favor of LGD at the moment. The problem with that, Cacao's still getting bigger. 4-0-5. He's 30 CS clear at the moment. And this Sejuani is already a massive problem. Stronger than Zatai by far.
Yeah, it has the Locket of the Iron Solari as well, so going to be helping out his entire team
In
now
fact,
with the Glacial Shroud.
Cacao is 2,600 gold ahead of Zatai.
That's silly.
And let's have a look again at the 1v1 outplay. Goes back to the first distortion. Rookie thought he was going to go to the second, then he comes back for another cheeky auto attack. Yep. So Godfrey just showing Rookie that he might have his number.
Yeah, when you have a couple of distortions prepped, you do have a few options here, but that was beautifully well played. As Cacao going to continue clearing out his jungle, 4-0-5, as we mentioned before. Man Immune completed now for Kid, with the Mercury's Treads here as well, and that's an interesting pickup.
Yeah, it certainly is. So if we take a look at the gold really quickly, Cacao is actually the richest member on the map.
Really?
Yeah, so he's 7,000, nearly 8,000 gold. 7,500 for Godfrey is the second highest. So he's about 500 gold clear of anyone, and that just shows how potent he's been in this early game. And what that's going to mean is, as the game ramps up, because they're only a solo tank lineup, there's probably no one better than Cacao to get the gold, because he needs to be that big, beefy frontliner by himself. When you look at the other side, there's a Lee Sin, there's a Maokai, there's also the Nautilus, so they have much more options there to get members in the front line for LGD. Cacao, he's going to have to do a lot of that heavy lifting solo.
Yeah, well, we'll see whether he can get it done, but if there's anyone who's capable of it, it is most definitely Cacao. He's had phenomenal playoff winning performances in the past. If we look back at the OGN last year, and it's Ty going to have to answer Flame's push here on the top side, who does have the Righteous Glory. Kitties wants to be able to kill something providing vision.
The scream is intimidating, Atlas.
It most certainly is. Cacao coming through the mid lane as well, looking to stick around Rookie. Godfrey wants to find Kid. He's going to find it there. The swap immediately to get in the extra resists, and Kid answering back quite nicely. Knocks in Corrosive Charge, doing some work, but probably shouldn't have gone aggressive because Godfrey is a monster. There's the ultimate to come through. Oh my goodness, that passive came out at exactly the right time, but Rookie is going to lock down the kill. It's a 1-for-1, but LGD, they're trying to take down this dragon, and it's getting taken down very low. Cacao only just misses out of his opportunity, but the fight might be on here as Kitty's looking to come through with the ultimate flashes for it as well as Depth Charge comes in. Fate's Call going to get POA out of safety as the equalizer at such a beautiful position. Imp takes so much from that one. Rookie with just the edge of the hula hoop picks himself up the double kill of the bottom lane. And IG, they lose a dragon, but they come out ahead in the kills.
Yeah, so 3-for-1 in the end. And wow, what an equalizer one more time from Zatai. Didn't go for the tanks, instead went for the carries and completely destroyed Imp off the back of that. Only had about 200 health left when that shockwave came through. And you have to think, that was just all from that awesome equalizer, as TBQ, with no offensive items, is just annoying at this point.
He doesn't do anything at all in the way of damage. And you see the Sonic Wave come through and you're like, oh man, this guy could get soloed out by the skirmishing monster that is Lee Sin. No. A few love taps. And then he's going to be about his business. And interestingly, Kid actually looking for a Hex Drinker as his next one. And I say interestingly, it makes a bit of sense with Godfrey on the map. Zatai, though, now in a bit of trouble as the double tanks coming through to try and get Zatai down. PWL makes a third tank towards this top side as Dredgeline's going to land, and Zatai is most definitely dead. There he is.
Took a while, though.
Yeah, certainly did take a while.
Not much damage in that game.
No. Not a whole lot. Abyssal Scepter was completed here by Zatai, but of course a lot of physical damage to come through from the Lee Sin. Oh, actually, probably mostly magic damage, because Cinderhulk's probably the majority of that one. And the Tempest as well doing magic damage.
I really like the build actually coming out of Zatai this game. Going for a little bit of defensive as well as offensive, and just going for those pseudo items. Of course, the base stats on Rumble are fantastic, but he got the double penetration, now the triple penetration, kinda with the magic resistance lessening coming through from the Abyssal. Also helps Rookie out a lot. Can't underestimate how much work Cacao will get done with that as well, especially if he goes for a late game Leandri's Torment, as we've seen coming through on some of the Sejuani. So very much helps all of the team right here, does Zatai.
Some more crowd shots coming through as don't really need to watch Rookie farming in this bottom side. Godby didn't decide that he wanted to come through and take some damage off him. Deathcap on this Orianna makes her a much more terrifying force, and we've spoken about the 2-item power spike that comes through when an Orianna picks up these couple of items, and it really is quite frightening, just the level up in damage that you get.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we see a little bit of aggression coming out in the mid lane now from IG. They don't have the teleport available out of Zatai, so they need to be careful. You feel he is maybe the linchpin of the team. His equalizer just sets up a lot of the other AoE CC that's going to come through from Kiddies as well as Rookie, so they're just trying to jockey for position. There's still a couple of minutes on before this dragon is up, so clearing out wards, making sure they're farming up, and in the late game, you really would give them the advantage. Orianna makes everyone a little bit tankier. Urgot, he's going to get to the point where he's unkillable, and the persistent damage that's going to come out of this team lineup is just a little bit better than you think what LGD are bringing to the table.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very frightening coming through to this late game, especially if Zatai continues to have these equalizers on such good point, because we've been talking about this. We're talking about the fact that, you know, they rely on these ultimates, but Rookie's shockwaves, despite that one in the 1v1, have been fantastic. The equalizers as well, as Dissonance not going to find Godby there, as I'm trying to talk you up, Rookie. If you could hit your abilities, that would be good.
I'll have a chat to him after the game. But
yeah, that would be great.
He has been a little bit out of sorts today, Rookie. Maybe not as polished on the Orianna as he is on the other champions like the Azir. And we see Godby once again looking for a bit of an assassination. In saying that, Rookie is actually up in gold. So Godby, whilst having a fantastic game, Rookie is still ahead of him by just the slightest of margins. Has gone for some home guard boots as opposed to the couple of Doran's rings that were picked up by Godby. So
yeah, Godby not quite able to get the vision down here down on the bottom side, just has that sweeper as well, so with a full inventory, not going to be able to ward up too much of that bottom side of the map, but he just sort of wants to be his own ward, doesn't he? Just chilling out in these brushes and trying to get the pick when they come through. Haven't mentioned him in the last little while, but he's hit his 2-item power spike with both of these red ones, the Hurricane and the Bloodthirster coming through, so he'll do a fair bit of damage in these team fights if he's allowed to. We'll see whether Cacao is ever going to let him with that Glacial Prison.
He just doesn't do any damage. There's 2 Frozen Hearts.
That's a good point.
He's going to either have a cannon in his face, he's going to have an Urgot in his face. There's just no way that Imp gets any damage down in this game until he gets to the point where he has a Last Whisper, which probably means he needs to get it for his 3rd item, but that's still 2,300 gold away, Atlas, and there's no way that he is shredding through any of the tanky members right now on IG.
Well, that being said, he has managed to farm up relatively well, especially in comparison to his counterpart here in Kid, who hasn't quite managed to find quite as many creep waves as the Callista, but you have to think that that Muraman are going to be coming through very, very soon.
Yeah, certainly looks to be the tank. Case is about 100 mana off the transformation right now, so Kid, whilst not being up in farm, has got the 9 assists, which is helping him out in the gold department.
Yep.
Going a very supportive build. Of course, he has got the Mercury treads, as we pointed out earlier, so he's very tanky, very elusive when CC is coming through. As we see Cacao with that ball on him is an absolute beast.
He is a monster. So much extra health here, sitting at about 3,000. When you get 0 health and masses of armor from that Frozen Heart, this pig is so incredibly tanky. We'll see what he decides to build up next. If it's a Warmogs, I just don't see Cacao dying in a team fight.
Oh, TBQ, he doesn't take much damage either until the percentage health comes through.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. The Arctic Assault doing some work. Kitty's actually blowing the Righteous Glory, sorry, managing to get his stuns down here as well as, catches up to him but doesn't get the last mark. And that is going to be a tower lost there, I believe, in the mid lane as a bit of a nice rotation comes through from LGD, but it is going to mean IG pick up their second dragon, answering the two already picked up from LGD. And Kitty's looking to get in, get amongst this one, but not to find any LGD members who just do a bit of a hit and run on that mid lane turret. Yeah,
so they trade objectives in the end coming through. Leandri's Torment now finished up for Zatai in the top lane as well. He's looking to get busy with some damage. They might have caught out Flame.
Yeah, they're looking for the tree hanging around this jungle, of course, still with a fair bit of vision. Kitty's just rushing with the lightning through this top lane. Does land the shuriken. Wants to find his next one as Righteous Glory is going to be popped here by Flame, but not quite giving him the amount of movement speed that he wants. And Cacao is just going to pick up some slow after the flash there from Flame.
Yeah, they get the flash, which is just all the engage gone from this LGD lineup, so they can't really catch anyone else. Godby, he's looking for a pick here, but I just don't see where he's going to get it from. Kid, even now with the Merc Treads, with, of course, that Null Magic Mantle, is pretty tanky himself. And PYL, he's been caught as well.
Yeah, he's looking to dredge line his way out. Does manage to find it there as Godby now in no man's land behind everyone. Is just going to head back to base after sweeping that brush. Actually stops his back. See what he does decide to do is there's a pink ward hanging out in that brush. He's not going to be able to move around here too freely.
He's pinged out Zatai, but he's completely out of position in this mid lane. They zone everyone off. The teleport comes through. They're going to get a tier 2 for free. And that's just some poor positioning from LGD coming through.
Yeah, and that was just beautiful play from Zatai as well. I mean, he got pinged out. People were collapsing on him and then just teleports into the mid lane and means that not going to find the pick and they pick up the inner turret.
Yeah, so they're able to grab the turret. A lot of farm is dying to the top lane. That one falls as well. So they get both turrets, and a very heads-up play coming through from IG means that now they have a 5,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and Cacao looking to try and get something done here in the backside as well. Every member of LGD sort of moving away from the pig as takes a Sigil of Malice and doesn't really do a whole lot. But the important thing here for LGD is that Imp finally now has that last Whisper completed.
Yeah, so he has the last Whisper completed. Still is going for the AoE build coming through from Kalista. The Hurricane being picked up, of course. So don't know how much work he can get done, but he certainly needs to get on his bike. You feel maybe even a Blade of the Ruined King will come through for the next item, although he needs the QSS as well to escape the Urgot ultimate.
To get out of prison.
Get out of everything.
Yeah.
There's just so much CC.
Yeah, I don't think we can really name exactly everything he needs to get out of. I mean, Slicing Maelstrom going to stun him up. Cacao's going to put him in prison, as we mentioned before. The swap going to come through from Kid.
Not to mention the slow is just ridiculous out of Permafrost. So, yeah, there's some things that he needs to make sure that he can cope with.
Yeah, and it is going to be the Locket of the Iron Solari completed by PWL, so not going to have that Mikhail's for the secondary ability to move out of CC here for him.
Of course, not going to affect the hyperkinetic position reversal, but everything else is Mikhailsable. So
Mikhailsable. I love it. It's a real good one. That sounds a little bit Atlas-esque.
Well, you can't say cleansable because it's not a cleanse technically.
No, it's not. It removes suppression. Yeah, that's what we've got to talk about here. Is Malzahar also a problem for Mikhail's? Kid, not going to try and walk into that brush there. TBQ does have exclusive control over that area, but there is a ward over that Krug side. This Kitty's now looking to try and get in amongst this one. Ward going to come down, and IG just going to sweep that one out as well. They're making a positional play here around the Baron. Cacao gets Dredge lined up, but not going to be too worried about it as Flame looking to try and get in towards his backside. The dissonance comes through. Kitty just gets destroyed as Imp still looking to try and find something here on the backside of the map. The Equalizer comes through. Beautiful positioning as Cacao lays his ultimate on top. Imp just getting destroyed, but LGD with the man advantage managing to make something happen as these red health bars are going down low. Imp's going to die. The shockwave onto 3 members. That was disgusting from Rookie. Picks himself up a double kill, and only Godby survives.
Yeah, and he's looking for a pick on the backside, but IG doing the smart thing. As a team grouping up, they're not going to give it to him. Thank God Rookie didn't go towards that brush. I thought he was going to do it again and make us all look stupid. But what a team fight in the end coming out from IG. They're able to clean it up, and it was once again Zatai's equalizer coupled with the fact that the ultimate came through from Cacao. Let's take another look at it. Don't engage onto Cacao. He will live forever, and in the end, they get in and they blow up Kitties. This is what we said Godby was going to be used for. He's deleting some of the CC before the team fight even gets it. Rookie gets kicked back in and flashes over the wall. But look at the layering of CC in the bottom part of the map. Imp gets completely obliterated. can't do anything off the back of that. Then flashes forward, I believe, Kakao to pick everything up. Kid is still with him, and the huge shockwave. 3 members get caught up in all of that burst damage coming through. And it was just patience out of Rookie. 9-3-3. He's picked himself up a Void Staff. He's also got another needlessly large rod. You can only hope that's going to be a Luden's Echo.
Yeah.
Because he just does ridiculous damage.
I have to feel like it's probably going to be a Zonya's Hourglass for the boring choice.
And pastry time, man.
No, I just feel like it is. I want the Luden's Echo, don't worry. I feel like it's a good item on everyone, no matter what type of damage you want to build. I don't know why TBQ didn't go for it. He's lacking damage, build a Luden's Echo.
Kikao's being caught out once again.
Caught out definitely with those quotation marks, but my goodness, in the end, Imp does do a heck of a lot of damage with 5 members behind him. And LGD, they pick off the jungler, and now they're going to be able to start off the Baron. We'll see whether Rookie can get into position for a potential shockwave to stop this one from coming down.
Too far away. He's still coming in. Maybe Kitties has to go, but how do they get in there?
Yeah, they've got the rend here as well as Kitties comes through with that one. Oh, it is going to be rendered down as Kid now off the backside, still very, very healthy. But Rookie, he has a whole... Oh my goodness, that shockwave still in a great position. Another equalizer. Beautifully placed snags Imp there as Kid. So tanky, but not quite enough when Godby comes into this one. Zatai trying to burn down TBQ, but he's pretty tanky as well. And Godby finally gets the team fight he was looking for, and they pick up a Baron, and Kakao can't get caught out like that.
Yeah, he certainly can't. He just got caught in no man's land, and they just sent 2 people bottom lane. I don't understand why they did it. The second thing I don't really understand, I have to see the replay, is why Zatai walked there. I'm pretty sure he had his teleport available. Probably could have been there to support Rookie. And as soon as Rookie fell, you just felt all the damage was gone. Still 3 members with Baron. That's a fantastic team fight for LGD.
Yeah, really beautifully done. And now LGD able to put pressure on this base. Of course, inner turret's still yet to fall for the LGD lineup. That's some standing gold, and they're back within 3,000 here. As far as that score is concerned, 3rd dragon going to be picked up by LGD. A little bit of trading as far as these dragons are concerned, as Kakao going to take down the puppies. And Rookie probably wants to complete that. Zonya's may have helped him out a whole lot in that last engage, but really just without Kakao, who has a whole lot of their money, not to mention the smite, really going to be necessary in these next few fights, because I believe he even had the Glacial Prison still available.
No, he threw it out just as he was dying, so...
Oh, okay, just may as well get it out there.
Yeah, he certainly did try and just get as much work done as possible, but this Baron buff, look at the looking down the lineups, is going to be very popular. Oh, wow.
Oh, there's the dredge line to come through onto Kid, but so many shields.
Flash dredge line actually came through from PYL, and that was with Imp in the top lane. Kitties.
Oh my goodness, he is so dead. Catches a stray Sonic Wave
still in the top lane. It's still a 4v5.
Yeah, Kakao looking to try and get something started here as the chains aren't going to land. Godby coming over the wall there with the distortion, heads back in again, but IG, they are going to disengage as Imp decides that he wants to pick up the red buff.
I can't believe they did not pull the trigger on that. They knew exactly where Imp was. And without the AD carry and Godby going through his complete rotation to take Kitties off the map, probably could have taken a fight there. Instead, now there's another 10 seconds where Kennen not available, and they're sieging through on this mid lane.
Yeah, and Godby does have his ultimate back up again. Oh my goodness, the swap comes through as Godby just goes everywhere there as Flame finds his way towards the backside of the map. Rookie still very, very low, so he has to get out of this one as the inner turret is going to fall down. Those Baroned up minions doing some work, and IG have to concede.
Yeah, and what we were mentioning is the fact that both teams siege very poorly. Baron is a huge objective for both of them. Of course, Kalista has fairly low range, has a lot of mobility to be able to dart in and out of fights, but really not going to be able to get much done. So Urgot in the exact same position. Whoever has Baron, you feel, has a better siege comp at the moment just because of the fact that that big purple cannon.
Yep, the big purple cannon with more range, almost double the range of every single possible champion here on the IG lineup as Kid. Not with so much, of course, Rookie does have a little bit, but not going to be doing quite as much DPS to these turrets as they would otherwise like. And Godby's found himself a 9-3-4 scoreline now, almost has his own Luden's Echo potentially completed now. A man can dream.
And once again, they're just not grouped up on the IG lineup. It's back to 1,000 gold only, so LGD completely pulling this one back. You see the Bloodthirster Blade of the Ruined King combo has been finished up by Imp, so he finally, you feel, can get some work done to these very tanky members. Moving in, free hitting the turret. That's going down very quickly.
Yeah, the Position reverser is going to be here, but Kitties gets dredgelined. He's going to take that as an opportunity to get in here as well as Kakao throws down the ultimate. Look at the equalizer again. Stunning positioning. Godby going to get caught by the shockwave, but that's going to be it. Oh my goodness, the flash arctic assault there as well from Kakao secures Imp. And my goodness, IG pull the trigger. TBQ, the only man standing, and that was a 4 for nothing.
Yeah, 4 for nothing. TBQ being hunted down by Kakao. They're having a bit of a battle, but TBQ, you do absolutely nothing to that tanky pig. Someone go to the bottom lane, Kakao.
Yep, Kakao gets the permafrost here as well. TBQ, what he has is mobility, as TBQ just going to try and clear out this creep wave, because this Sejuani is impossible to remove. Does get the Dragon Rage back up again. But in the meantime, the inhibitor turret is falling down. Oh, some cheeky behavior here from TBQ.
And they're just proxy farming against each other now.
Yep. Okay, you two can play at that game, sir.
And Kakao even clears out of that imp.
Oh my goodness. But Rookie is going to be able to clear out this top wave. At least someone's still thinking about winning the game, Kakao. It's TBQ. Oh, dodges out of the way of the Arctic Assault. Oh, the ultimate comes back up, only at 20% slow as the teleport comes in from Zetai, wanting to finish off what was a gallant 1v1 and snags it with the equalizer.
So in the end, they use everything as Kakao is laughing his head off. You cheated, Kakao. You were winning an honorable duel.
I know. TBQ, look at how frustrated he is. He's like, oh my goodness, 1v1 me at Baron. Kakao.
Well, he thought he had an understanding, and he doesn't want the 1v1. Kakao does much more damage. He's 6 items.
Yeah, Thornmail now completed as well, but that wasn't the case before. It was far more even. Look at TBQ. He's, nah, this is...
I'll get you next
not
time,
a gentleman. Not a gentleman at all. POL going to be discovered here by Rookie as he throws his ball over there, and Sentinel again going to frighten the heck out of everyone as Rookie going to take down a Grump. Grump probably the best thing to remove from the map.
Yeah, Rookie probably shouldn't be taking it. It's a very important buff right now for Kakao, and if I was Kakao, I'd have some choice words for my mid laner, because the respawn time on these camps is ridiculously long, and when Baron up in 50 seconds, Kakao really does need that buff.
Does he though? He's got 6 items. It's a Randuin's Frozen Heart Thornmail. It's disgusting.
But it just makes him so relevant in trying to dive onto Imp as Imp's hitting him. It's the Thornmail coming through, the true damage, as well as the Cinder Hulk. They've got complete control over this part of the map.
Yep, and a Luden's Echo was completed by Godby.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know, right?
Rookie, take notes.
Yeah, see? He's got to sell it, though. Oh, actually, there is still hope, ladies and gentlemen. We may get a final item, Luden's Echo, to come through from Rookie.
Unfortunately, I think that isn't.
What is it going to be? Is it going to be an Abyssal Scepter?
No, it's going to be a Leandris.
Oh, frustration. But 4 seconds now on the Baron.
I'm real sad now.
I know, so am I. Really.
But happy for Godby.
That's exactly right. No caster bias here. We just really, really like the item. But IG are going to tear this Baron apart. You can see once they get a hold of it, that thing does not last long, as now IG able to pressure this base. They already have one of the inhibitors down.
Sentinel spots everyone.
Beautiful work, but is going to be the item used here from Kitties. They might actually trap Flame here as well, who does manage to get a ground pound in there.
Kakao even does to Flame. No one is safe.
This is ridiculous, and he's taking no damage. There's the ball there as well for a bit of a shield. Godby looking to come through. There's the swap, actually, and he just gets eliminated. Probably wishes that he had Azonia's Hourglass available there, as there's a bit of a zoning equalizer. Gets a couple of flashes here as well, as Imp just gets destroyed. The shockwave used on the prime carry here in LGD. They have no damage left over at all. PYL going to get destroyed. Zetai even here as TBQ wants to try and get the kick, but there are some golden players hanging out in the base, and IG, they're pushing through for the victory.
Yeah, they certainly are. In the end, just too strong. Kakao has an absolute blinder. Rookie joins him, but a great team effort across the board for IG means that they take the game
that
one.
Last swap was so good.
I just like the fact that there was a bit of miscommunication, because he went for the swap as Kitties was flashing over the wall to stun him up with a slicing Maelstrom. It was a very, very good initiation.
Yeah, it certainly was. Godby there, a little bit upset, saying, why did I buy a Luden's Echo? It's so pretty and I did so much damage, but I couldn't go golden. A little bit unfortunate there, but LGD, they still have another opportunity here against IG in the second matchup. This is, of course, the final best of 2 between these two teams, and we'll see exactly what happens as we move into the next game, because, of course, IG, a lot of momentum to be carried through to the playoffs here if they manage to get this 2-0.
Yeah, exactly right, and they had a very good overall game there. This idea that they went in with was solid. It was a very press R composition, and you saw that when they were fighting in the chokes around these objectives that LGD prioritized, they just had a better overall fight.
Yep, it was looking fantastic. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a short break, but then we're going to be back with Game 2 between LGD and IG.